Tomorrow, he agreed, which meant only that the world would continue to turn. Secrets carry their own weather. Maya began to take more showers. She kept her phone face down on the counter. She invented new meetings with old clients. Rafi, who had built his house on trust and busyness, noticed the silence and chalked it up to work, to adult life, to the way you can live with a person and not see them when the lights are on. Then one evening, a notification lit up on her phone while she was on the balcony watering already glossy leaves. The screen flashed long enough for his eyes to catch it, a single tolerant sentence from Armin. I bought the book you mentioned. There were no hearts, no kisses, just the mild unguardedness of familiarity. Habit, more dangerous than hunger. He didn't pick up the phone. He didn't scroll. He didn't become every cliché he dreaded. He sat very still while his pulse ratcheted a new rhythm. The kettle boiled, the water shut off. Maya came back in with the can in both hands, dripping a little trail. Rafi stood. Who's Armin? Her hand jerked. A bead of water slid off the can and darkened the floor between them like a tiny omen. He's a coworker. I figured. He spoke gently, as if the room were a fragile installation. How close are you two? The apartment filled with a huge quiet. The kind of quiet that has to be carried together, or it will crush you. We're friends, she said, then winced at the word as it left her mouth, flimsy and already drifting apart. We worked on the library proposal. I talked to him about things. Things you don't talk to me about. She opened her mouth and closed it. Rafi had always known how to set a nail with 3 precise taps. Now he was tapping something in her chest, setting a truth she had been afraid to name. I don't know what I'm doing, she said, which was true and not. He lowered himself onto the edge of the couch, as if the furniture had changed height. If there's something I should know, say it. Don't let me find out by accident. Maya placed the watering can on the floor and folded her arms around herself. She wanted to lie. She wanted the relief of delay, but the room had a new gravity. We crossed a line, she said. We kissed. More than once. The words hung like wet clothes that would not dry. Rafi closed his eyes. Air moved between them, not quite making it to breath. How long? A few weeks. He nodded, a jerk that looked like something slipping off a shelf. He stood up, walked to the sink, and turned the tap on and off again, as if testing whether the world was still a machine. Why? He asked finally. She could have said because I was lonely. Because you've been gone inside the house for months. Because I needed someone to look at me the way you used to look at me, and I didn't know how to ask for it without breaking something I wanted to keep. All of that was true. None of it was an answer he deserved to hear first. I'm sorry, she said. I should have come to you. I should have said I was drowning. Rafi stared at the sink with a bewildered, practical fury, as if there were a lever he could pull to shut off the consequences. What now? I don't know. Do you want to be with him? I want us to figure out why I did this and whether we can fix it, she said, and the instant she said it, she realized it was the most honest thing she had managed all month. Their first attempt at repair was a silence pact. No accusations after 9 p.m., no pressing for details in the morning before coffee, no dark humor deployed as a scalpel. The pact held for 3 days. On the 4th, Rafi asked whether the man's hands were kinder. On the 5th, Maya left the room when he started to list, in an accountant's murmur, all the ways he had tried to provide a life that could be lived inside. I can't keep running the tally, he said later, unable to meet her eyes. It makes me sound like a banker to my own marriage. Then don't, she said too quickly. She wanted to tell him she wasn't a ledger. She wanted to tell him she had kept her own lists, full of all the times she had pressed a need under her tongue until it dissolved. But the room had grown sharp. The wrong sentence could cut them. They tried therapy. The counselor's office smelled faintly of mint and old printers. The therapist, Nasreen, kind-eyed and steady, asked them to name what they were protecting when they lied and what they were sacrificing when they told the truth. She asked them to describe their first month together, then their last month before the affair in ordinary detail. The groceries, the jokes, the way their feet found each other under sheets. Is it easier to talk to him? Nasreen asked Maya. Because he is new or because you risk less with him? With your husband, you put the entire story on the table. With this other person, you put only a chapter. Maya absorbed the question and felt something like a door click in a house where she had been shivering. Rafi listened with his jaw muscle jumping, which was his version of a flinch. What would count as a clean page? He asked, voice brittle. There isn't one, Nasreen said. There are only pages with notes in the margin and the choice to keep writing in the same book. Maya ended things with Armin in a coffee shop that had never had a quiet day and never will. She told him the truth in the simplest English she could manage, so that he could not mistake her grammar for indecision. "I want to stay married," she said. "I want to try to be different inside it. I can't do that while also holding you." Armin nodded because he was not a villain. "Do you want me to leave the firm?" "No," she said quickly, then considered. "Not unless you want to." "I don't want to," he admitted. "Not because of you. Because I like the work." "We'll make it practical," she said. "We'll copy others on emails. We'll have meetings with the door open. We'll be reasonable." He smiled at that a little sadly. "Reasonable is a good way to be alive. Reasonable is a way to not break anything else," she said. They hugged briefly, which was a mistake, and then he walked away, which was a correction. Rebuilding is less cinematic than breaking. No sledgehammers, no sweeping gestures. Rebuilding looks like a supermarket list you write together and actually take to the store.